What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealEntGaming, and joining me here today are three-man broadcast, my good friends Paintball Falcon and Hardy T Snipe. And today we're going to be reviewing the second episode of Attack on Titan, and different opinions and different thoughts here today. So I want to know your thoughts, guys, on episode 2, given the fact that we just got done reviewing episode 1, and right now, I think this is the part when everybody within the outer circle are fleeing to go within the inner circle because of the invasion upon the Titans. So I want to get your guys' take on the second episode, because having to go back and review it with Mr. Paintball Falcon, Falcon gave the first episode a 5-star rating. That he said that he was deeply involved and he loved the way the character storytelling was there, and how the utilization of the story. So I want to get your take, Mr. Hardy T Snipe, and I want your take, Paintball Falcon, on your overall synopsis on the second episode, and if you think that they actually delivered, especially with how they ended the first one.
First off, Brandon gave it a 5.
Yeah,
I'll give it a 4.
really, why?
Because it was a good introduction, but it wasn't. It was a good introduction, but there was still more to go on.
I just felt like I gave it a 4 just because there was a lot of talking, and then they finally got into it like in the end. But with the beginning of the second episode started off well because everybody was running away. Aaron just got done seeing his mom get eaten. So like, what is your take on the second episode, if you had to like sum it up in like a few words, and like your overall thoughts on the entire situation?
Well, it gives a pretty good. It does more backstory. It gives a whole lot more detail in the backstory than episode 1 did. I think in this one it gave you like a year like time skip when they actually started training B scouts. So it was a pretty good. It gave more introduction. It gave more details in the first episode
All right,
on
and
how they
you,
became.
Brandon.
It also showed the struggle they were going through at that time, like how they were all running low on food, and it showed they were basically like the soldiers that were saying that they wanted some people to die. They were making fun of it. Basically, they were saying people should die so they can have more food to spare for the rest of the community.
and,
So,
and and that right there, I think, is so awesome, because in real life, that's how people are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if there was an apocalyptic scenario like that, I'm pretty sure anybody would say the same thing. Like, oh, I hope that guy over there dies, because if he does, that's less bread for me to go on around and spread around. So, what about your thoughts on the Titan? Because I believe in the second episode, it's when one of the Titans just busted through the wall. So, like, what is your take on that?
what do you mean?
Like having the Titans be able to run.
Well, they run when there's like a commotion going on. When they see like a bunch of people in one area, they see that as an opportunity they can feast like easier because they don't have to like pick one by one. They can just grab a handful and just feast like they want. And feed their thirst for blood. So
And what about your thoughts on like the governor, who just sits within like the very inner circle and just doesn't really care about anything else? Because I feel like in real life that's how it is. All of the rich, spoiled people are just safe and kept protected, while everybody else was left to struggle. That's the one thing I love about this anime, is the fact that everybody else is struggling, everybody else is just out to survive, and then you have that one dude who's in the middle. I mean, did you guys see what he was feeding on? The dude had like a giant feast. He didn't really care. So like, um, having to go back to what I said about the beginning of the episode, like how exactly did you guys feel like it drew you in? Because I felt like the second episode drew me more in than the first one.
oh well, I had told Tyler that some of these characters remind me of myself and some things that I've done or
Really?
did
How?
because what you sighing for,
Go
Tyler?
ahead.
Because I told him that like Aaron reminded me like he how he doesn't get along with his mom that much. There was a time where I didn't get along with my mom that much. We were just arguing constantly, and he was wanting to do his own thing, but she wanted him to do stuff her way. So he was like, "I don't want to do it your way. I have my own way of doing things," and that was one thing that drew me in. So, and the other thing about the government or the main guy you were talking about that sits in the back, of course he's not gonna worry about anything. He's like the furthest thing in. He's like the center of the city. Like he has nothing to worry about. And so
But
as
it's
long
not
as
like he's safe. Remember that.
well, I mean, as long as he knows he's not in danger, he's not gonna take the initiative to be like, let me focus on what's going on out there. I really don't think he cares that much about what happens to his troops, as long as he
and,
has
and
enough.
and that's the thing. If you recall the second episode, the soldiers and whatnot were getting a little like feisty. They were like, well, how come we're left to just do things out here while we can be inside and just rejoicing and whatnot. So, what about the other characters? Like, do you have like any connection with them, or do you feel like they're just like side characters that nobody even cares about?
Tyler,
They're
you
definitely main characters. All of them. I don't see like that's one thing I like about this is that Armin is not the only main character in this show. There's a lot many other main characters like Misaka and Armin and Annie and a lot of other people. It's not just one main character that's revolved around. It's everybody.
Okay,
That's part
so
of the story.
if you had to connect with any of those characters, is there anybody you can connect with?
Uh, Armin.
Why?
I mean, I'm the smart one. I know plans. I know how to work, how to do stuff. I know how to get the job done when it needs to be.
I don't know, like the only thing that bothered me was the way these Titans looked. Like I said to Brandon, they look like having to have them be naked humans. It's just like, But Brandon said, I mean, to him, he feels like they're more of a mutated, version of humans or whatnot, which is, I mean, it's understandable, but I mean, what is your overall take on these Titans not being able to do anything else but just eat? Like, do you think that they have some sort of consciousness within them? And my other question is, like, in terms of the second episode, if you had to give it a 1 to 5 star rating, like, what would the rating be and why?
Well, first off, these humanoid freaks, I call them. They're to me, they're pretty much like zombies. They don't think. They just want to kill people. They just want to eat people. That's what zombies do. They just want to feed on flesh, human flesh. And really, that's. I mean, are they conscious? I don't. I mean, not necessarily. Although, like, they do have people that reside within like the back of their neck, and that's where their weak spot is, because that's where the human is. Is so technically, I would say they're. I mean, the person inside is unconscious too, so I guess you could say they were unconscious,
Okay,
so
all
to
right.
speak.
Well, I mean, if you had to rate it, what would you rate it? For me,
Mm,
I would say once again 4 stars because the beginning started off great and it ended off kind of like, yeah, like it didn't really want to. It didn't really suck me in as much as the ending of the first one, because at the ending of the first one, fucking people are getting eaten, bro. Like, that's awesome. Like, you wanted to see what happens next, and then you saw it, and then it just slowly died off. So I would give it a 4. It was still good because you had Aaron, who reminded me a lot of like Yamcha, who was just talking a lot of shit but couldn't back it up. Mikusa reminded me of Vegeta. Did she not remind you of him?
wouldn't like.
In the sense of being like quiet but yet such a badass character. Like, she stood her own and she would put her foot down whenever it needed to be.
Yeah, she was the person that made the most sense of
I,
stuff. So
I, I she reminded me so much of Vegeta because Aaron was just thinking out of his ass. He was like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna kill all the Titans. Like, he wasn't thinking straight. Like, but then again, I mean, would you blame him?
no, I mean he just saw his mom as a kid. That's kind of scarred him for the rest of his life. He witnessed that his mom getting eaten alive right in front of him.
And that's the thing about this episode, guys. Like, it picks up right after that, and Aaron is pretty much going around just talking a whole bunch of garbage. He's just like, I'm gonna kill these Titans all by myself, and people are laughing at him. It's just like, because some people they haven't witnessed what he witnessed. So it's understandable to say, oh well, okay, this guy's going crazy because he saw something, but you can't really relate to him because you weren't there. And that's what I think I liked about the second episode as much, because it kind of brought the sense of realism. It's like, if you saw your mom get killed tomorrow or today right in front of you, you're gonna want revenge. You're gonna want, like, justice and whatnot. And that's what he wanted. But then, everybody else would pretty much just be like, "You're crazy. Like, you don't know what you're doing." And that's exactly what happened in the second episode. It was desperation. It was panic. And it reminded me a lot of World War Z. I don't know if you guys saw that film or not, but you remember how in World War Z, when everybody was panicking and whatnot, like nobody knew what to do. That's what I felt like how it was in this episode. So, um, but yeah, like I said, like, what would you give the rating for this episode, both of you?
Not a 4.5. I would.
Still give it
I,
a 4. It wasn't as good. It don't. The second episode don't draw you into it, but it still gives you a lot to take in.
Okay, that's decent. What about you, Brandon?
Said a 4.5.
4.5. Why 4.5?
Because I
Like
mean,
what made the first episode, allow you to give it a 5, and this one just give it a quarter less?
because the first episode was spontaneous. At first, it started off peaceful, then out of nowhere, just instant chaos, and you're just like, "What the fuck? How did that happen?" And
Okay,
it
but
makes you wonder.
this one started off with chaos and ended off like kind of like not peacefully, but in a desperate moment.
Yeah, it made you want to see what's gonna happen next. Definitely, like you gonna if you like into stuff like this, it made you want to know like where the fuck these things came from, what are they, and why they're trying to do what they're doing. So
Okay, so we have 2 4 stars and a 4.5, correct? Well, I mean it's not too shabby. I mean, I believe that like still that's a very good rating for an episode because like I said, I mean it's not 5, it's not absolute god like golden something you must watch, but it's still pretty good. So if you guys had any final words for this episode, what would it be?
we're what?
If you had any final words to any final comments about this episode, like what would it be?
Uh, just pay attention to what all like the details in this, so you
Because for me, I
understand.
would say my final words are desperation. That's it. Tyler, what about you?
I would just say keep on watching. Watch it, go to the next episode, and then finally you'll get to that point where you'll just go ape crap. You'll just go ape
Whoa,
shit
whoa! Don't yell at the people. I
and
mean,
go crazy. I mean, just keep on. If I had one thing to say, just keep on watching it, and then you're gonna get that point that'll make you feel like it's worth it watching all these episodes.
Wow. There you go, everybody. That is our review for the second episode of Attack on Titan. Thank you all for watching, everybody. As always, if you guys are Attack on Titan fans, don't forget to subscribe for all latest info and news. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit it up with a like and a favorite. If you guys, have any comments, just leave them in the comment section below. Check out 3-Man Broadcast over there, everybody. You're gonna find a whole bunch of anime stuff, Titanfall, Naruto, DBZ, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode. We will be reviewing episode 3. And I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll be seeing you all later, everybody. Peace.